All right. Hello, hello. Here we go, guys. It is Friday, October 25th. 11 days to go. Oh my gosh, you guys. What's going to happen? What are you feeling? What are you thinking? That's a great way to enter. That's a great way to end. And I still need to work on an intro to the show. I need to do or a stream. I don't know if you call this a show, a stream. I need to edit something and get like, you know how the cool people, all the cool podcasts and streamers, they all have like this, countdown and like music playing. And then like, then the podcaster's like, hey, I'm here. But I don't have that. And I should do an intro to make it sound cooler. So it just feels, special, just super special. Hey guys, what's up? I got Buzzy on YouTube. Buzzy, you were here like really early, even before like I went live. So congrats to you. I think you were the first one viewing. Nice job. First is the best, right? Second is the worst. Okay. And I'm just kidding. Anyways, we got Sharon on YouTube. Hey, Sharon, blessings to you as well. Peggy, my supporter, I think New York. Yes, Peggy, you're in New York. What's up? Matt in Dallas. Oh, you got Kamala coming your way. She's headed your way. And I think Trump is going down there to be on Rogan. So that should drop soon. I hope everyone tunes in for that. So both of the candidates are in Texas right now. Fabulous. We got Chris. What's up? Where have you been? I've been here, Chris. That's the thing. I'm being censored heavily on a lot of these platforms. I should be live on X, and I haven't done that yet. So maybe I should do that. I was like a gnat in my face. Yeah. So I have been here. It's just the censorship is insane. The censorship on big tech like YouTube and Facebook is worse than it was in 2020 for me. And I say this, in 2020, I'd make a post, I get like, 10 to 12,000 likes on it. Now, if I do a post on Facebook, I get like 100. So you can tell the censorship is just insane over there. And, that's why I'm thankful for my supporters like Peggy, who support me on Patreon. So I don't rely on the big tech, because they want to shut me up. They want to be like, there's no way you can do this. Go do something else. There's no way to make money here. So I have my Patreon supporters that support me monthly, and it's awesome. Hey, Steven on YouTube, what's up? Okay, so guys, I don't know. What are you guys thinking? Like, what are you feeling? I did a special video for my supporters yesterday, and I said, I feel like, and I've never lived in a state that has hurricanes. So if you live in Florida, or, hey, what's up, Catherine? Thanks for joining. If you live like in Florida or North Carolina or South Carolina or Louisiana, even Texas, these places that have hurricanes, the thing is you can see the storm, right? Like you can see it coming before it hits you. It doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's usually forecasted. Hey, in fact, there's another one heading for Florida, I believe. But you can see it's coming. And I feel like we're all kind of like waiting for the storm to hit. And it's not the best feeling, because regardless of what happens, right? Like, and it's looking for good for Trump. I'm about to play you that they might actually take they're actually thinking the popular vote is now up for grabs, which is absolutely fabulous and fantastic. And so I'll show you that in a minute. CNN actually is talking about it. But if and when Trump wins, the left is going to lose it. Like, I don't think we're really taking into account like what they're going to do. My mom and dad and my sister, one of my sisters, was at the inauguration in 2020. And they said, literally, my mom's words, it was a war zone. Cars blowing up, just absolute riots, things on fire. It was just, they had to have an escort to their car for safety. It was terrifying. And you think, I mean, it's only elevated now. The left is absolutely crazy, you guys. They're crazy. Uh, and I got to show you a clip of this lefty lady on this Ring camera. It's gone viral. Just her losing her crap about someone having a Trump sign. This is why you don't see as many Trump signs and you see Harris wall signs, because Trump supporters are not going to go knock on someone with a Harris wall door and scream at them for not supporting the same candidate that they're supporting. Like, a Trump supporter is not going to go tear out signs of someone's yard. That's not who we are. Like, we agree to disagree. We have character, value. We're not crazy in the head. And so I think that what you're seeing is a lot of people are just playing a chill, man. They're just like, I'm not gonna let any, just keep it DL, because you don't need some lefty loony up in your business yelling at you for supporting Trump. But what I will say is I am feeling that more people, like when you get in a conversation, they feel more comfortable saying, yeah, I'm voting for Trump. And I do believe that Elon Musk has made that more possible, because you have this brilliant mind, rocket scientist, a billionaire, richest man in the world. He's like on like Tom, like he's like an Edison, Tesla type, right? Like a brilliant person, vocally supporting Trump. And this is like science, right? Because the science is like, no, we don't do that. But he is a picture of science. And he's saying, I'm going to go with the person that's supporting free speech. And it has enabled a lot of other successful, logical, moderate, even-keeled people to now come forward and say, well, I'm supporting Trump too. And I don't necessarily even like him, but I'm supporting him because of his policies. It was better under his presidency. This border is insane. Now Kamala and Tim are talking about censoring speech. That's not American. I can't support that. And they're feeling like, okay, I can just say it now. And in 2020, it was so like, shut your face, don't say anything. But I'm feeling like more people can talk now, and they're having these conversations. And that's a good thing. Like, it is a healthy thing to have a back and forth with someone that you disagree with and still be cool about it. And I'm feeling like we're heading in that right direction. Although, like I said earlier, the left is going, the far left. Okay, we're not talking moderates. We're not talking blue dog Dems. We're not talking, your independents. We're talking the far left. They are going to tear things down. They're going to go nuts. I told my supporters, I was like, have some extra water on hand, have some extra food on hand in case you can't get to the grocery store because they're shutting down roads. I mean, these people are nuts. Just, be smart. All right. That's, I don't even know where I went with that, but that's kind of my off the cuff take of what's going on right now. Really quick, popular vote, CNN. You guys got to hear this.
His great white whale, Harris versus Trump national margin. You mentioned that New York Times poll, a tie. That's actually right in the middle of the spectrum when we're talking about recent polling data. You don't have to look very far to find Donald Trump ahead nationally. He was up by 2 points in the CNBC poll, up by 3 in the Wall Street Journal poll. Very close races within the margin of error. But then the same thing on the other side, right? You have Harris up by 3 points according to Ipsos. The Say 24 YouGov poll, it's a bunch of academics, also has Harris up by 3. But the bottom line is, with the popular vote, which we really haven't focused upon, a very, very tight race, John. Fact is, Donald Trump is very much in a position he could win the popular vote, which, of course, is something he would absolutely love to do.
And would be something very different than we have seen compared to last time and the polling compared to last time.
Exactly right. So I went back through the time machine, all right? I went back through the time machine to see where were the past 2 races at this point in the campaign. Look, Harris in the average poll right now is up by 1, well within the margin of error. You go back 4 years ago, Joe Biden was well ahead of Donald Trump in the national popular vote polls. He was up by 9. Even Hillary Clinton was up by 6 points. So now Donald Trump's in a position he really hasn't been before at this point in the campaign, where he could truly compete, and we can truly say that the popular vote at this point is way too close to call.
So that's it. I mean, that's pretty cool. We haven't seen that. And I think it was George Bush. George W. Bush was the last one that got the popular vote. And then before that, I think it was his dad. So it has been a while since Republicans have taken the White House and then also taken the popular vote. The fact that it's even being discussed right now means that people are starting to wake up. Thank God. Thank God. Because I've got a troll on here right now. The troll people they're emotionally led, right? And I think that the people that are voting for Harris are emotional people. They're emotionally led. They hate Trump, so that's an emotion that they're basing off their vote. Hate never leads to anything good. These people are full of hate. They're hating Trump, so they're gonna vote for Harris. They're emotional people, right? They run on hysteria. They don't vote on policies. Like they do not vote on policies. They vote on their emotions. But I do feel like what we're starting to see now is people starting to say, I'm going to set my emotions aside. I'm going to use logic. I'm going to use reason. I'm going to use common sense. I'm just going to ask basic questions. Were my kids safer 4 years ago than they are now? Were groceries more reasonably priced 4 years ago than they are now? Could I fill my tank up with gas more easily than I can now, right? Was I able to speak more freely? Yes, than I can now. They start to all these were we safer as a world 4 years ago than we are now? I mean, you've got Israel, you've got Iran, and now we're talking. I got later. I'm talking about how North Korea is teaming up with Russia. Like the potential of a third world war is very much possible. And there's only one candidate running right now that wants to temper things down and not keep things up. I don't want my sons and daughters going to war. Like I don't want that for them. I don't want to see us completely depleted of all our resources because we're sending all of our money and resources over to another country to fight war. I don't want that. So we vote on policies, right? We're starting to use the common sense. I feel like that's starting to kick in, and hopefully more women, because women, let's be honest, we tend to be more emotionally led. Shouldn't be. But it's the women on here that are trolling, right? I can't stand him. Like, take a deep breath. Have a glass of wine if you need to, and review the policies. Okay. And if you're honest with yourself and you care about the future for your children and your grandchildren, you're going to vote on policies and not on emotion. So, anyways. So I feel like sometimes when I talk to these people, it's like talking to a wall. It's like, just, pray for them. I'll pray for you. I'll pray for you. Okay. So, also Hispanics are starting to lean, which is so funny because they're starting to now swing towards Trump. And it's really interesting because my husband and I were talking about this last night. Hispanics are fed up with this because a lot of these people that are illegal coming over here that are committing a lot of crime, violating women, they tend to team up with other Hispanics. They tend to find themselves in other pockets that are heavily Hispanic. And it's causing crime and terror amongst Hispanics. And they're like, no. You come here like we did. We came here legally. You need to come here legally. Enough of this. And so they're getting fired up and they're like, we're done. We're done. We're going to vote for Trump. And thank God for that. And I actually got a call the other day from one of my sisters, and she is married to a Bolivian. And he is he had an experience the other day. Well, about a week ago, he's and this is successful Bolivian. Like, he's got his own business, he's doing well, but he left his keys in his truck. Okay, and he's in an area of town that's not that, it's not the best, and he's like, I need to get my keys. And he calls my sister, his wife. He's like, I lost my keys are in my car. I need you to bring me the second set. And so he's outside his truck, and this woman pulls up and is just watching him. And he's like, I think that she thinks I'm going to steal this car, and this is my car, but she thinks that I think she thinks that I'm going to try to steal this car. And she's just staring at him, and she's on his phone, and she's kind of like recording, and she's like watching him. And he's like, it felt very uncomfortable, very awkward. And then he calls my sister. He's like, I think that there's this lady that she's like watching me, and I think that she thinks I'm trying to steal my own car. And my sister's like, she doesn't think that. Stop it. You're being crazy. And then my sister ends up getting there, pulls up. The minute she pulls up and hands the keys to my brother-in-law, the woman pulls off, like she leaves. And my sister said, she's like, I felt in that moment, like, I bet you, and she was talking to her husband about it. She goes, I bet you that a lot of other Hispanics that have come here legally are feeling like not only like violated because they've done it the right way, but also they could be being looked at, sadly, as somebody that didn't come legally. And then there's this kind of like, bias or bigotry toward them. And that's horrible, you guys. Like, that's horrible. But that is the environment that Harris and Biden have created. And it's sad. It's sad for a lot of the Hispanics out there that are experiencing that, especially the ones that have done it the right way. And they are fed up. They're fed up, you guys. I'm telling you. So that's exciting. I mean, hopefully people are waking up. All right, you guys. What else is going on? Obama has shown up, guys. And this guy is desperate for a fourth term. I have never seen anything like it. I mean, he is like, you better vote for Kamala. Like, and it's almost like it's reached like peak level. Hey, trucker, thank you for the donation there on YouTube. Appreciate it. But it's reached like peak level, right? So now he does a rally with Eminem. And we got to talk about Eminem too for a minute. But Eminem, he does he gets on the stage and he does a rap. And to me, it's sad to see how far we've fallen here. Watch this.
I gotta say, I have done a lot of rallies, so I don't usually get nervous. But I was feeling some kind of way following Eminem. I mean, I notice my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, vomit on my sweater already, mom's spaghetti. I'm nervous, but on the surface I look calm and ready to drop bombs, but I keep on forgetting.
Okay. Like, really? Is this where we're at? Then he brings on Eminem. And Eminem, he is definitely, if I had to diagnose him, definitely suffering from TDS. Just angry. And it's amazing to me because, the Kamala campaign, even though her husband, Doug Emhoff or whatever, has so many now rising allegations of the way he's treated women. He got his nanny pregnant, slapping women around. They're pro women, and I'm voting for Kamala for my daughters when she's married to like a kind of guy, right? That has like several allegations now against him. And then you bring Eminem on, who, if you read some of this dude's lyrics to his songs, they are vile, misogynistic, full of hate against women lyrics. Okay. So I don't know who was like, yes, let's bring Eminem on. He has so many songs about how much he hates women and wants to do terrible, horrible things to them. Let's bring him on and push him for Kamala. I mean, I don't know who thought it was a good idea. I personally, I'm not going to name names, but I do believe, this is my own personal opinion, and I'm not going to name names, but I do believe that a lot of these celebrities that are coming forward, voicing their opinion for their candidate, and one candidate has vowed to expose Diddy lists, Epstein lists, and another candidate sat silent on it. It's interesting to me the amount of celebrities that now are suddenly voicing their opinion for one particular candidate who's not said that they would release any lists, right? It makes me wonder if like some of these people are on the list, right? Like, I mean, it just if you're gonna, kind of just deduce here, like, okay, to me, I'm like, it's an admission. Like, I'm like, oh, Wow, I didn't know you partied like that. Okay. Awkward. Oh, you're okay. Nice. But not gross. And so I don't think this looks good for these celebrities that are like, yeah, I support Kamala. So you should totally vote for her. Please vote for her. Vote for her now. Says something to me. It just says something to me. Okay. That's we'll just leave it at that. You can, use your creativity. Let's see here. Sorry, my throat. Okay, yeah, Eminem. Here he is. Here's this guy. Oh no, that's not him. That is not Eminem. Let's find him. Here he is. No, here he is. Here he is.
Detroit. What up, though? So look, I wrote down a few things I wanted to say. I love you too. Thank you. I'm here tonight for a couple of important reasons. As most of you know, the city of Detroit and the whole state of Michigan mean a lot to me. And going into this election, the spotlight is on us more than ever, and I think it's important to use your voice. So I'm encouraging everybody to get out and vote, please. I also think that people shouldn't be afraid to express their opinions. And I don't think anyone wants an America where people are worried about retribution or what people will do if you make your opinion known.
What? I'm sorry. Has Eminem been living in a hole the last 8 years? Because that is what we've experienced, okay? Retribution. Okay, I'm sorry. Like he has to be so detached from reality to even say something like this. First of all, the minute Trump got into office, retribution immediately began with an investigation, a fake Russia hoax investigation into his candidacy, into his campaign that literally tied his hands behind his back from being able to do what he really wanted to do when he was in office. And he still got a ton done, okay? Then the Biden-Harris presidency happens, okay? And immediately there is proof of them colluding with big tech to censor American speech, to shut down people that are speaking out against them. Okay, that is dictator tyranny type stuff. And that is what they did. There's proof of it. They colluded with big tech to shut your mouth up. Okay? They are locking up right now their political opponents. They're trying to arrest and jail Trump. Retribution, that is what they're doing right now. And this is what the left does every single time, you guys. They accuse their opposition of what they are guilty of doing. Okay? Retribution, people lost their jobs in 2021 because they would not inject themselves with a chemical substance that was being pushed by Big Pharma. And the Biden-Harris administration got on board with that and helped push people to inject themselves against their will. They didn't want to. And if they didn't do it, they lost their job. So Eminem, my goodness, please, he is so detached from what you and I are experiencing. And it's like amazing to me. I'm like, well, I don't want them to face retribution. That's what's been happening for the last 4 years. And then that's what happened to Trump the entire time he was president. I mean, it's like, it's funny. Anyways, so here you have these two people, Obama and Eminem, who both party hard with celebrities. Let's just leave it there. But they both party hard with celebrities. And they're all in, right? I mean, they are all in on Kamala. So, Liz Cheney, town hall with Kamala Harris. I just have to ask, when I watched some of this, and it was painful to watch, and I couldn't even watch the whole thing. I just pretty much watched, some clips here and there because it was so bad. I have to ask, what happened to the joy? The joy, guys, the joy is gone. And to be honest with you, I never believed the joy was real. I felt like it was fake. It was fake joy because joy comes from God, right? And these people have basically said they want nothing to do with God, right? So joy is gone. Joy was fake, not real. It's now joyless. It's a joyless campaign they're running. But Harris and Liz Cheney, and it's funny to me because like Liz Cheney's like, she's saying, I'm choosing country over party. Country over party. But it can't be America. It can't be that country. It can't be the USA that you're picking over a party. Like it can't be America because America has suffered greatly under the current administration, which Harris is part of. So it can't be this country you're talking about, possibly Ukraine. If I had to guess, we know that Liz Cheney is all in on the war. She loves the war. And she's all in on Kamala. They're like, yay, war, let's do it. So they meet up. And of course, it's a natural pairing. I get it. I get it. But what's her name? Maria. What is her name? Swartz. I can't say it. Let's look it up. I got to get this right. Maria. She was married to Arnold Schwarzenegger. What's her name? Shriver. Yes. Geez. Come on, Rachel. Maria Shriver. She hosts it, and she's asked by the audience, like, well, this is a town hall. Are we going to be able to ask questions? And this is what, how Maria answers. Maria Shriver. She just says, not going to happen. Not going to happen.
Unfortunately, we have some predetermined questions, and hopefully I'll be able to ask some of the questions that might be in your head. I hope so.
Okay, so obviously because that's Harris, right? I mean, I think at this point, even if you're like on Team Harris, and I don't know how you could be, I don't. If you're on Team Harris, at this point, you have to know that your candidate is not talented or gifted at off-the-cuff questions or answering questions that she doesn't already know that are coming. So she has to get the questions in advance. She has to know what she's going to say in advance, and then she says that. It's a puppet president, a presidential candidate. That's what it's. What are the questions? Okay, what do I say? Okay, deliver. What are the questions? What do I say? Okay, deliver. That's what Harris is. I mean, it's obvious. It's obvious even if you love the woman, you guys, like, just be real. Like, let's just have a conversation here. Let's be real. Like, that's what she does. So, all questions have been given to her in advance, all questions rehearsed. And I was entertained by it because I thought to myself, as Kamala answers some of this stuff, I had to think Liz Cheney has to have a moment where she's like, I cannot believe that I'm on this team right now, but it's too late. So here we are. This is what I have decided to do with my life. I don't know why, but here we are. There is even like several tweets that you could pull up from Liz Cheney, like bashing Harris, like just a few years ago. Like she couldn't stand her. And now she's all in on Harris because she hates Trump, right? So the woman obviously is just kind of like motivated in that way, feeling motivated. But here is Harris trying to answer a question, and it's just, you got to watch.
If I can just speak to what people are feeling, we cannot despair. We cannot despair. The nature of a democracy is such that I think there's a duality. On the one hand, there's an incredible strength when our democracy is intact. An incredible strength in what it does to protect the freedoms and rights of its people. Oh, there's great strength in that. And it is very fragile. It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. And so
I'm sorry, I can only listen to her for so much, but this woman says that constantly. There's a duality in democracy. On one hand, it's strong, and then on the other hand, it's so fragile. She does. I mean, there's videos out there of her like saying that all the time, like constantly. That's like her new thing. She got rid of unburdened by what has been because people are like, dude, that's like communism. Like that is a communist phrase. That's what Marxists say. We have to unburden what has been, tear it all down, burn it all down, and start this new utopia that Marxists and communists, that's what they believe in. Her dad is a Marxist. She loves Marxist policies and implements them in everything that she's touched. And so she was called out on saying, hey, wait a minute, like that's now you're making it obvious with the unburdened by what has been. Like you're making it so obvious that you are a Marxist. So we got to scratch that and let's go with something else. So now she's doing, there's a duality in democracy. On one hand, yes, okay, so she's saying this all the time. And first of all, we're not a democracy. Like, I hope people understand that. We are not a democracy. And I get it. People get upset with me when I shoot satirical videos and I say democracy and I use democracy because I'm playing a leftist, okay? Leftists don't know that we're not a democracy. They actually believe that we are a democracy when we're not. We're a constitutional republic, which means that you, the individual, has a say regardless of what the majority tell you to do, regardless of what the majority want you to do or push you to do or force you to do. You as an individual are protected by the Constitution to have your own will and your own way as long as it's not hurting anyone else. Okay, that is what we are. We are a constitutional representative, actually, republic. So that is what we are. But she says democracy all the time because that's a mob rule. That's a majority rule, right? So if you don't want something and everyone else is like, well, we're voting for it, you have to do it. And you're like, I don't want to. They're like, you have to. The majority rules. That's democracy, okay? But in a constitutional republic, when you're like, I don't want to do it, I'm not going to do it, you don't have to do it. Isn't that great? Isn't that great? You don't have to. You are protected under our Constitution to your own individual rights. But the left does not want that. The left wants democracy. They want mob rule, and they want to just plow right over you and everything that you desired for your own individual life. So she says it all the time. But I watched this and I was like, I have to play Cheney. So here we go. Oh my gosh, Liz. What have you done? What have you done?
Feeling. We cannot despair.
I am definitely in despair right now.
You know, the nature of a democracy is such that I think there's a duality. On the one hand,
here she goes with democracy again. This lady thinks we're a democracy.
And what it does to protect the freedoms and rights of its people. Oh, there's great strength in that.
This is painful.
And it is very fragile.
It's so painful.
It is only as strong as our willingness to fight for it. And so that's the moment we're in. And I say do not despair because in a democracy, as long as we can keep it in our democracy, the people,
what is she saying?
Individual has the power.
She talks, and I never
to make
know
a
what
decision
she's
about what this
saying.
will be, and so let's not feel powerless.
I feel powerless.
Let's not let
so powerless.
I get it, overwhelming nature.
You did this to yourself, Liz. You did this to yourself.
Because then we have been defeated, and that's not our character.
I can't listen to this for 4 years.
We are not one to be defeated. We rise to a moment. And we stand on broad shoulders of people who have fought this fight before for our country. And in many ways, let us look at
broad
the
shoulders.
that we are being presented.
Gosh,
and
make
not
it
be
stop.
overwhelmed by it. The baton is now in our hands to fight for, not against, but for this country we love.
Just deep breaths.
What we have the power.
Deep breaths. So that was it for the Liz. I had to capture it because I was just like, at one point, and I wasn't able to grab the clip, but at one point, Kamala's talking, and she's doing her word salad somewhere. It's like, what? I will give it to Kamala. She is the most talented ever that I have ever seen. Okay. at talking, but saying absolutely nothing while she's talking. I've never seen anything like it. It's phenomenal. Like, she is the best, I think, on the planet at it. She has the ability to be asked a question and then has the ability to just start talking, and you're listening. Like, as a listener, you're like, okay, what is she saying? And she can talk and talk, and then inflect her voice, and then come down with it. Democracy is so fragile. And she can use accents, and she can play to the audience, and she can talk and talk. But at the end of it, like, after she's done talking, I guarantee you, every single person, if asked, what did Kamala just say, they would not be able to say what she just said, because I don't think she even knows what she just said. It's amazing. Like, I'm like, wow. It's like another form of, I don't know. It's a little kooky to me. Like, I'm like, what did you just say? And I'll even like go back and be like, okay, I'm gonna get it this time. I'm gonna figure out what she's trying to say. I'm going to figure it out, and go back and I'll re-listen. And I'm like, I still don't know what she's saying. And she's good at it. I'll give her that. I will say that she is, I've never seen anyone do it. She can do it. I mean, I've known other people that are like, okay, yeah, they're politicians. You know, they have a way of like kind of working around things, but she has a way of just running her mouth and not saying anything. At all, like nothing is being said, and it's a talent. I'll give her that. I'll give her it. It's a talent. Trump went to McDonald's since I saw you guys last, and the left had an absolute meltdown over it.
A timer. Bring that one up. I'm gonna take care of these. Okay. Right there. Got it. Yeah. Good. Now we can put that far right, hang it right up there. Yeah. And then you want to do the salt over here? Yeah. I did these ones already. They're good. You just got to do that one right there. So grab that.
Let me give them extra salt.
No. Yep. Oh, yep. Good. Okay. Right there. And then we're going to grab the fry scoop right here. Right. Put it into there and just give them a twirl that way.
Okay, where's the little thing?
Do you know why the left had an absolute meltdown over this? Because Trump is able to go into environments, being a very wealthy billionaire, and kind of just fit right in. Like, you know, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go work at the fryer at McDonald's. And, you know, they're like, oh my gosh, it was staged. It didn't really happen. Like, a total meltdown by the left. And it's like, yeah, this is what you do when you campaign. You do photo ops. You do, they've tried to kill him twice. Do you think that he's really going to go to like some random McDonald's and be in the drive-thru with strangers pulling up? I mean, do you know the dangerous situation that could put yourself in after people have tried to kill you a couple times? So yes, that was their argument. They're like, it's not real. Okay. But the fact that he was able to go into McDonald's, work a fryer, have conversations with the workers there without doing the awkward cackling, the awkward, like, he just kind of blended in. And the left candidate can't do that. She cannot do that. She is the most inauthentic person that has ever run for president, ever. There's nothing authentic about her. It's so they're frustrated, and I get it. You're frustrated because you can't put your candidate in that situation. Just like today, sorry, Rogan is having Donald Trump on his podcast. Kamala was asked to come on. She can't do it. She cannot go on. She cannot go on because she's not going to be given the questions prior. She doesn't know what Joe Rogan's going to ask. And it's a very genuine, authentic environment that Rogan sets where it's just like having a conversation. She can't do it. That's why we saw Maria Shriver earlier saying, no, Kamala has the questions in advance. Everything's been pre-selected. Everything is just automated. Okay. But when you throw Trump into a McDonald's, and he's able just to kind of do his thing, that the left can't do that with their candidate. It causes the meltdown that you saw. And it was remarkable to me, like the people that were losing their minds over it. I'm like, just take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. Okay. Go put Kamala in a McDonald's. Do it. Try. And they won't. So Kamala's hitting the stage with Beyonce in Texas today. Again, Beyonce. She likes to party in Hollywood. Her husband likes to party in Hollywood. They're friends with some of the people that are being accused of doing some really bad things. But Beyonce's supporting Kamala. So is her husband. Put it together. Put it together. Okay, you guys. So this is where we're at. This is where we're at. They have circled back. They have circled completely back to, I think, was it 2016 or I don't know. We've been doing this for so long. I don't know where we're at with it, but they've circled completely back to Trump as Hitler. I thought that they would be more creative. I thought, they're going to come up with something that's just going to be so, I had, because October, you guys, October's like, something's going to be big that drops. It does every single time. And so the lack of creativity is what's kind of caught me off guard, because I was like, wow, they're circling back to Trump as Hitler. Like that's their play. Like that's their final play is Trump is Hitler. He's a fascist. I posted yesterday on Facebook, and I just I can't pull these up, so I'm going to just do it just with my own phone here. But all of the times, you guys, that Trump, the problem is with the left is they don't understand that we have the ability to look back in time. Like we can look back at when Trump was born and how he's lived and how he's treated people and who he's known and how he's interacted and what he's done and we have the ability to be like, okay, he's Hitler now, like how? And what's amazing to me is they want us to think like we didn't already have him as president. Like he would have gone full Hitler if he could have, but he didn't when he was president, because he just didn't. But he will do it this time. He'll do it this time. You just be careful. He'll become Hitler if you let him in again. Like they think we're dumb. But I posted this thread and it's awesome. Donald Trump here is it's by I gotta get the guy's name because I want to give him credit. Where is it? How do I not have him? Okay, it's Fuzzy Chimp. Fuzzy Chimp Calm on Twitter. He has an incredible thread. It's gotten millions and millions of views. And he's like, I just want to post a thread of Trump being Hitler over the years. I think it's important people to know. Here is Hitler in 1994, staring menacingly at a black man. This is him with Will Smith on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Here you go. Terrifying Hitler posts there. We've got another one, Hitler in 1996 making a phone call to deport a woman for her foreign accent. This is Trump with Fran Dresser on The Nanny. I don't know if you guys watch that show. Terrifying post of Hitler there. Here he is, Hitler again, 2005. Shows up at the Emmy Awards disguised as a farmer. Terrifying Hitler post there. I mean, it's amazing how scary the man is. Total dictator, tyrant, you guys. Here he is in 1997. Hitler narrowly avoids being eaten by famous anti-fascist Michael Moore. They're sitting there. Trump is smiling, but you know what he's really trying to do, right? Because he's Hitler. We all know what Trump's really going to do to Michael Moore. Here he is in 2016 with Jimmy Fallon. Hitler appears on Jimmy Fallon to spread fascist propaganda to his masses. Fallon was executed by a firing squad later this year for touching Hitler's hair. I mean, obviously this is satire. That didn't happen. But the world loved him, guys, before. Here he is, Hitler again, 2004, a fascist on CNN. On SNL, sorry. He went on there to spread his hate. Hitler on SNL, of all places. How did he get on there, you guys? In 2004, Hitler hosts a series of television shows featuring a live firing squad. That's him on The Apprentice. Terrifying. There's so many of these. Hitler with Sarah Palin. Which is not Sarah Palin. She played Sarah Palin. You guys. 1988, Hitler meets with others to watch men bludgeon one another for sport. Here he is with like all sorts of popular people. He was loved, you guys. Well loved. Jesse Jackson. I mean, come on, you guys. And here he is, 2017, Hitler. Of all places, of course, Hitler would do this. Just this is the kicker. This is the one that I was like, oh, he's so Hitler. You knew it. 2017, Hitler attempts to knock over the Western Wall in Jerusalem. I just knew it. I knew it, you guys. Here he is. Yeah, Hitler. I mean, come on. Like that's their play. Oh, no, that's not all their play. It's fascist, racist. There's only 3 that they really pick from. It's election denier. There's 4. You're an election denier, you're fascist, you're racist, you're Hitler, or you're a misogynist. Because we did have another woman came forward, a model that was dating Epstein back in 1993, so 31 years ago. Model dating Epstein says that she was groped by Trump and she felt totally violated. And I made a post because I think it's important to just go through this. In 1993, she doesn't mention it. She doesn't mention it in 1994, 1995, 1996, 1997, no mention. 1998, no mention. 1999, no mention. 2000, which let's remember, I'm old now. So I remember Y2K and I remember the world was going to end. So if there was ever a time to like let it all out and tell everybody everything, it was Y2K. And she didn't say anything. So she has no mention of the harassment, the groping. 2001, no mention. 2002, no mention. 2003, no mention. 2004, Trump stars in a hit show, The Apprentice. So he's really popular now, and she just doesn't mention it. 2005, no mention. 2006, no mention. 2007, no mention. 2008, no mention. 2009, no mention. 2010, no mention. 2011, no mention. 2012, no mention. 2013, no mention. 2014, no mention. In 2015, Trump announces he's running for president, and yet she doesn't mention it. 2016, no mention. 2017, Trump is elected president, still no mention. 2018, no mention. 2019, Trump announces he's running for president again. Those who wish to silence free speech and rule the world lose their minds, and Epstein doesn't kill himself, and still no mention. In 2020, no mention. 2021, no mention. 2022, Trump announces he's running for president again. Everyone on Epstein's list, Diddy's list, globalists, that hate individual liberty, every 3-letter agency, all of Hollywood, the owned media, every Soros shill loses their minds, yet still no mention. In 2003, and 2023, no mention. 2024, the worst president in the history, the worst vice president in the history of the country is not polling well. And she decides to roll this story out and mention that she was groped by Trump. It's funny to me that, like this story gets highlights, but like Doug Emhoff, like mistreating women, slapping women around, women that have come forward and said that this happened, like no story, no press on that. We're not going to address that. We're not going to Me Too that, like, believe all women, but we're not going to believe the women that were harassed by Doug Emhoff. Like, we're just not going to, allegedly harassed by him. Like, we're just going to, but yet this gets attention. I don't know how you can side with the media. Like, the media is just bull. And if you're on team media, like, listen to this. And this is what's so funny to me about the left. They think like they're the resistance. You guys have Hollywood, the media, big pharma, big corporations, the military industrial complex, war machine, all of the education, all of the colleges, universities, everyone on your team. You're not the resistance. Like, you're not the resistance. But of course they're trying to make this a big story, but it's kind of falling flat. So, oh, okay. I still have a couple more things to mention. Kamala goes on a town hall again. It was painful, you guys, so painful. She goes on with Anderson Cooper, and now Anderson Cooper is like suddenly like Satan. And he does not like Trump. Guy can't stand Trump. He likes Kamala. But now, like, people that watch the town hall that love Kamala, they're like so angry because he asked her questions and she didn't do well. She didn't do well again. Oh my gosh. I don't know why you would want this person to like go represent you up against Putin. Like that, you're going to send Kamala into the room to go negotiate with Putin? You're going to send Kamala into the room with Xi Jinping or Kim Jong-un? I mean, really? She has to have the questions beforehand. How would she do on the world stage? Like, you're literally, it's Russian roulette. Okay. So she shows up and she's asked some questions and she does terrible. So let's just watch how terrible she does.
Voters, though, might ask, you've been in the White House for 4 years. You were vice president, not the president. But why wasn't any of that done for the last 4 years?
Well, there was a lot that was done, but there's more to do, Anderson. And I'm pointing out things that need to be done, that haven't been done, but need to be done.
I'm pointing out things that need to be done that haven't been done that need to be done. Like, again, not saying anything. Like, it's amazing to me. It's amazing. Here she is again, getting asked another question.
Times you called it stupid, useless, and a medieval vanity project. Is a border wall stupid?
Well, let's talk about Donald Trump and that border wall. So remember, Donald Trump said Mexico would pay for it? Come on, they didn't. How much of that wall did he build? I think the last number I saw was about 2%. And then when it came time for him to do a photo op, you know where he did it? In the part of the wall that President Obama built.
But you're agreeing to a bill that would earmark $650 million to continue building that wall.
I pledge that I am going to bring forward that bipartisan bill to further strengthen and secure our border. Yes, I am. And I'm going to work across the aisle to pass a comprehensive bill that deals with a broken immigration system. I think Jackson's question, part of it was to acknowledge that America has always had migration, but there needs to be a legal process for it. People have to earn it. And that's the point that I think is the most important point that can be made, which is we need a president who is grounded in common sense and practical outcomes. Like, let's just fix this thing. Let's just fix it. Why is there any ideological perspective on it? Let's just fix the problem.
To fix the problem, you're doing this compromise bill. It does call for $650 million that was earmarked under Trump to actually still go to build the wall.
I am not afraid of good ideas where they occur.
So you don't think it's stupid anymore?
I think what he did and how he did it did not make much sense because he actually didn't do much of anything. I just talked about that wall, right? We just talked about it. He didn't actually do much of anything.
But you do want to build some wall.
I want to strengthen our border.
Oh my gosh, like what did she say? What did she say, you guys? Like help me understand it. If you can translate Kamala for me, I would love it. Like we should actually do, maybe that'll be the satire, translating Kamala, because I don't know what she's saying. Like what did she just say, you guys? Like, is she gonna do a border wall or not? And then she says Trump didn't do anything for the border. Yes, he did. He tried and attempted to get funding for the border wall, and they tried to stop it repeatedly in Congress. The Democrats did. He did build some of the wall until they stopped the funding on it. He implemented stay in Mexico, which means that if you were coming here and asking for asylum, you had to stay in Mexico before you were approved to come in and properly vetted. They removed that and they allowed everyone to come in and declare asylum and show up for some court date that they'll never show up for. And they implemented catch and release. The Biden-Harris administration implemented catch and release, you guys. So if a Border Patrol caught someone, they would just ticket them or whatever, or get their information and then release them into the United States. Like they did everything they could to unsecure our border the minute they got into office. And when she talks about like trying to push some bill through Congress at the very beginning, that bill declared amnesty for all these people. Like they're just liars, man. And then when she's talking about it, you don't even know what she's saying. Nobody knows what she's saying. Even the trolls on here, you don't know what her policies are. You don't know right now. If I was to ask you, is she going to build the wall or not? You wouldn't know what to say because she doesn't know what she's saying. I can answer for Trump. I can tell you what he's going to do because he's out there and he's being very clear on what he's going to do. Your candidate, you can't answer. Does she support full-term abortion? Answer that. Yes or no. Does she support securing the border? Will she not more funding for the borders to process more people coming in, but does she support securing and stopping the illegal flow of migration into our country? And how will she do it? Has she been specific? You can't answer that. You can't answer. Does she want to expand the Supreme Court? She's all over on that one. You can't answer for your candidate. Doesn't that make you like second guess for just a second? You don't know where the person you're voting for stands on anything. Talk about an uninformed voter. Even Anderson Cooper, who likes Kamala, is like, I don't know. Like, are you border? No. Wall? Yes. Let's talk about Trump for a second. Like, just tell us. She can't. I mean, it's got. Can you imagine living with someone like this? You're like, just give me a straight answer. Oh, it's exhausting, and I think that's the goal, like to exhaust you. So you're like, like someone's like repeatedly, like, just like, you're just like, just fine. Like, you're just giving into whatever they say. Like, I don't even know. Just yes. It's like my kids where they're like, can I have a piece of candy? Can I have a piece of candy? And I'm like, no, I said no, you cannot have any. I got all my homework done. I did all that. Fine. Just fine. Oh, that's where I feel like I am when I listen to Kamala. I just, I don't even know what I'm agreeing to. I don't even know what you're saying. I don't know what I'm agreeing to. I'm so lost in all of it. Oh my gosh. At least with Trump, you know what he's saying. Like, it's just clear. You know what? Okay. You might even disagree with some of the policies, but at least you know what he's going to do. Oh my gosh. It's tiring. Okay. What else do we have? I think we're wrapping it up. North Korea, this is a big one for all the people that are pro team Kamala. And listen, I'm going to be honest with you. You're pro team Kamala, you're pro for war. You want war. I'm serious. You want more funding for war because that's what you've seen under the Biden-Harris administration. You have seen billions and billions and billions go to foreign countries to fund war. So if you want that, then definitely vote for Kamala because she's your pro-war candidate. She's all for it. Because if you're a Marxist, right, like you have to burn it all down. You have to burn it all down and then rebuild. You have to unburden what has been. So in order to unburden, sometimes you have to send people to war and have them no longer with us. A lot of people. You have to deplete your resources. You have to go bankrupt. You have to completely, watch it all burn. That's what you have to do if you're a Marxist. You got to unburden it. And sometimes unburdening can be difficult. It can be a challenge. And you might lose people that you love in the unburdening. But then you can rebuild something so beautiful, a communist utopia, where everybody just shares and they sing Kumbaya and we braid each other's hair, and that can be possible. It can be possible. But first we have to unburden everything that has been. And so that means, war. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at. And I don't want my kids going to war. I mean, if there was one policy, two policies that I'm like, no, it's the safety of my kids and securing our border. So we do not have any more Laken Rileys, Rachel Morans, Jocelyn's. I don't want that anymore. I want my kids safe. I want my border. I want the border secure. I want to know who's coming in. I want them properly vetted. I'm not against immigration at all. We are a beautiful country with all sorts of different backgrounds, all sorts of different cultures, but we have to know who's coming in. We have to know their intentions, and they have to come the right way legally. And that makes everybody safer. It makes the people coming in safer. So many children have been trafficked sexually because of our open border. That's not fair to those kids. I mean, to actually think that their children right now in horrible, horrible situations because of our open border, I can't even stomach it. Like it's so sick and wrong. We have to secure our border. It's safer for those coming in, and it's safer for Americans. And I don't want war. Like, I'm over it. I'm over feeding the military industrial complex. I'm over making all these lobbyists, these people that make tons of money off of war. I'm done with them. I'm done. I don't want to fund it. I want us to focus on our own country, and I want us to de-escalate all of the tensions that are existing right now around our world, because that makes my kids safer. It protects my kids. I don't want my son going to war. I don't want my daughters. The Biden-Harris administration, they're all in for drafting women as well. So I'm not going to do it. There's two policies right there. That's enough for me. I mean, I could go on. The free speech, right? I mean, that's huge for me. I have been directly impacted by the Biden-Harris administration on censoring me directly. And it has impacted my life. And I can't continue. We cannot continue. If you do not have a society that can speak freely, you have a dictatorship. That's dictatorship. That's fascism. That's Hitler. Okay? When you tell people they can't say whatever they want to say. I mean, there's so many different issues and policies, but if you have just one, and you're asked, what does Harris support? What does she believe? I don't even know, you guys. And if you study her as a senator and what she did when she was AG in California, you're looking at far left radical policies. And I'm not doing it. And hopefully people set their emotions aside and they vote on policy. And hey, if you're a Marxist on here, if you're a commie, I get it. Kamala's your girl. I get it. Like, I understand. But if you're not a Marxist and you're not a communist and you believe in free speech and you believe in securing our border and you believe in protecting children that are being trafficked, then you're going to vote for Trump. It's simple. So the U.S. has confirmed that North Korea has sent 3,000 troops into Russia for training and possible Ukraine combat. The U.S. said Wednesday that 3,000 North Korean troops have deployed to Russia and are training at several locations, calling the move very serious and warning that those forces will be fair game if they go into combat in Ukraine. I mean, this is escalating. I want someone on the scene that will de-escalate it. You don't have to like him. You don't have to, you cannot even stand him. But we vote on policies. That's why we vote. That's it. It's policies. It doesn't have, he's not, you could literally, you could not stand him. It's you vote on policies. What policies are going to protect you? What policies are going to protect your kids? What policies are going to make a better life for you here in America? That's it. That's it. So, all right, you guys, that is it for me. Here we go. We just pray at this point. We pray. There are people that are, still knocking doors. I did the door knocking. I've done that. You can still phone bank. You can still make phone calls. And we have to turn out the vote. I know that Republicans are huge turnout in early voting right now, but we cannot let up. You cannot let up. You run like you are so far behind. And I would encourage every single one of you to find one person that's like, I'm not voting. My vote doesn't count. I don't care, to get them to vote. Get them to vote. Okay. You want to lay it all on the line because this is it. I'm serious. This is it. Like if ever there was an election, it's this one, because if we don't, the border stays open and then it's a one party rule. So this is the election. If you're a Christian, you vote. You authorize with your vote, and you authorize if you don't vote, and you will be held accountable. You've got to turn up and vote. Turn out and vote. Vote, vote, vote. All right, you guys. A shout out to my Patreon supporters. I'm so thankful for you guys. I have people, like I mentioned earlier, heavy censorship across the board. And I am so thankful for the people that support me monthly. It's not a lot, but it helps. It helps me with the satire, buying wigs, buying lighting, buying cameras, like all of the stuff that I need to continue doing this. And I'm thankful for it. So if you'd like to support me, I just dropped the link in. I have people giving $3. I have people giving more a month. It's up to you, whatever you feel led to do. But if you do believe in satire, I know that's kind of, I was talking to my mom and I do different, I do commentary. I do my little videos for just supporters. And she goes, my favorite is the satire though, Rachel. That's my favorite. So, if you like the satire, if you like the commentary, whatever, if you want this to keep going, please give. But that's it for me. That's the recap for the week. God bless you all. Keep praying for our country and enjoy your weekend. And we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.